It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? I've always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to be in a neighborhood with you. So let's say hello to this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be, could you be, would you be my neighbor? Won't you please, won't you please, please won't you be my neighbor? Well, hello there. So I don't know about you, but at the end of the day, I like to sit down in a cozy chair with a nice good book. And this one happens to be one of my favorites. It's called 2020, June. 2005, 2006 were years upon this earth when children who had never met would celebrate their birth. Their story is unique as each emerged from their cocoon. Their destiny would lead to this in 2020, June. Some met in preschool, others were raised in other states and nations. Their infant dreams were limited by their imaginations. They learned their ABCs while staying positive and chipper, as they struggled with such challenges as mastering a zipper. Kindergarten came along, and all the darling faces were screwed up in concentration as they learned to tie their laces. In first grade, they learned their prayers and the importance of the truth, and that Miss Vogel's always there if they have a loose tooth. In second grade, they learned to question who, what, where, and why. They introduced division, and they learned to multiply. The highlight, PE with Miss Rass, twice weekly, afternoon. So far from where we are today, from 2020, June. Third grade, sleepover tales, perhaps the greatest ever told. Some stories bear repeating, because they never do get old. It sometimes can be hard to sleep when lying in your bed. So live. Remember, when you're counting sheep, to count them in your head. Fourth grade was finally here. How long they'd waited for this day. They were the leaders at the school with Mrs. Chevrier. They built a doll's house, and they could recite poetry out loud, while they dreamed about their future and wandered lonely as a cloud. This was the year a windstorm led to days they missed from school. In hindsight, those three missing days must seem just minuscule. Perhaps it was foreshadowing and almost opportune to practice what would be the norm in 2020, June. Fifth grade meant a new location. They were again the little ones. Mrs. Macaulay and Mrs. Lewis, they taught you tons and tons. Father Me stayed at St. Peter's, said goodbye to every lad and lass. Father Miguel stepped up with big high fives every Thursday Mass. In modern times, civility and kindness aren't in fashion. Yet this class is far more than their share of goodness and compassion, brought partly through great losses, and I know how much they miss them. Please take a moment to honor Mrs. Fazell and their friend, Christian. Sixth grade. Miss Bruno and Mrs. Speltz helped find them all their voices. Their schoolwork was a challenge, but they still all made God choices. It wasn't all hard work. They still found time for lots of fun, and as Tiny Tim would probably say, God bless them, everyone. They continued to be thankful for the foundations laid that year. Seventh grade was round the corner, but they faced it without fear, for they once more were greeted by a friendly, familiar face. Mrs. Macaulay was back again, with her servant's heart and grace. As a gardener tends to all the precious plants within the soil, so this group was raised and nurtured by the legend, Mr. Coyle. His stoic, calm demeanor inspired staff and kids alike. While his retirement is well earned, we're going to miss you, Mike. He was called to live the gospel. He was called to be a saint. And he taught for 37 years without a single complaint. All those years must seem to blur, so many classes in the past. But I think it could be argued that he saved the best for last. Now we've reached 8th grade. Our stories reach the present day. You've had so many lessons you'll take with you on your way. You've all achieved. You should be proud. You've little to regret. Yes, this year is sure to be the one you never will forget. For in March, the world changed greatly, with the pace of an eruption. But without a break, you persevered, despite that interruption. You've worked so hard and done so much to make you stand and smile. This chapter's not traditional, but then, that's not your style. This is the class that stands out, and you'll be in high school soon. You've navigated all the years to 2020, June. Your accomplishments are legions, and you'll have more success aplenty. Now, it's my honor to present the class of 2020.